Today, I want to, as I always do, empower you. Let you know how amazing you are, how powerful you are, and that you are equal to absolutely every other human being on this planet. Don't let those roles and those facades fool you. We're going to talk today about your capabilities, what you're able to do despite the challenges going on out there. All of us have the ability to go into a space of total peace, awakening, and transcend into a new reality that could blow your mind. And the challenges taking place are actually an opportunity for us to go to that space. Sometimes we just don't do things until we're pushed, and we're all getting pushed to make some critical decisions. I'm going to talk about your empowerment today, how amazing you are, and I want you to know it because it's just the truth. You're ready? Let's go there. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. Ye are all gods. What does that mean to you? I want you to know that God, of course, is one that has created absolutely everything. You, as a human being, can participate as a co-creator because you are of God and ye are all gods. In other words, you have those abilities to create amazing things. Are you using it? Chances are pretty good not to the fullest extent. When you go into that space and you understand that the nothingness is so perfect and beautiful that no questions exist there because you don't have to know anymore. Only the human mind has to have answers all the time. You can go into that space without the answers to the universe. How do we do that? Well, these things you shall do and more. Do you remember that statement? If you're Christian, you've probably heard that in the Bible. What does that mean? Ye without sin cast the first stone. There are messages after messages telling us what you do to the least of us, you do to me. Over and over. That we're one amazing power and that we don't have to suffer or struggle and that we should never, ever treat another poorly because that's us. When we get that concept, we become extremely empowered. Let's talk about law of attraction. Now, if you've watched my channel, you know that I don't like the term because most people believe that there's a law that something out there becomes attracted to me, when I believe that we just simply shift into that which we focus upon, and that's quantum physics. That's been proven. When somebody observes something, it changes. That's why experiments can't be 100% accurate, because there's always an observer at some point, even if it's after the results. Once somebody observes the results, it changes again. This is sort of crazy stuff, isn't it? No, not really. It's time for you to know your power. Whatever you think and focus on is, I am that. I am. I am that, and that, and that, and that. There is nothing stopping you from choosing that. How do we get out of the head? Well, that takes some practice because we have been programmed. But I want you to know something, that every single person can get out of that right away, not by stopping it. That's why I teach a class called Break Through Fear, not Stop or End Fear. I have a class that teaches you to break through it by observing it. That completely takes the pressure off you to end all the chatter in the mind that the ego is a part of the collective consciousness that's with all of us. And you can always pick up on that. So you may pick up on other people's lower frequency thoughts and feelings. That's okay. Because when you continue to pick up on that, you know that we still need the N word. We require that extra push to raise that frequency, and it comes from you. When you do it for yourself, you do it for others, and it raises the whole planetary frequency, and that's actually happening right now. We talk about the Great Awakening. I talk about it a lot because I want you to go into that space, because when you go into the space of a high frequency, you can manifest anything. You don't have to attract anything. You just see the world as an amazing place, and you have no anger, no fears, and when things show up, you don't react to them, and you just break through them by observing them. Oh, there's that anger about my parents. Oh, there's that anger and blame about that person who abused me. Now you start to think of things differently, and you say, that was my greatest teacher. Could I forgive that person who did the most horrific thing? I'm not here to judge what they did, and it's not that you should believe or think that what they did is right. We are human beings, that we do judge and gauge things. But when we go to a higher frequency, we stop doing that. And I know it sounds crazy because people say, are you going to stand by and watch abuse? Absolutely not. We're actually going to end abuse. And you should always step up and be the hero. But how you do things is what's so important. We have to end the way that we handle situations, not fire with fire. You can put out fire with water. You don't need fire to do that. I want to ask you if there's something that is a block that you must release. When you go into releasing any beliefs that block you, you will be able to manifest amazing things, because now there's no story in the head that says you can't. That's the most powerful thing. And the thing is that most people find it difficult to manifest the things that they desire most. Why? Because desiring it most usually means that you believe you don't have it, and that you are in a place of lack. And that's the thing you want most. I want it. As soon as have you ever wanted something and it was no big deal and it showed up? Because it was no big deal and you were able to manifest it. Well, the same goes with the things that you desire. You have to know that it will absolutely show up, and start to live your life that way. But you have to know that you're powerful. The law of attraction is always working. It is a law that basically says you're a co-creator in everything. And asking is with your thoughts. Your thought creates at all times. So no matter what you desire, if your thought is still on lack, and you're upset or anxious, or you struggling with where you are in your life, you cannot attract that thing, because your focus is on the struggle and on the lack. This is going to be the biggest challenge. Can you go into that space of having? I have. Law of attraction is actually quite simple. Unwinding some of the programming is the biggest challenge, especially since it still exists. You will always get people telling you can't do certain things, or naysayers are telling you you should focus on reality. Reality is that this is a horrible place. And somebody said, I live in La La Land. And I said, well, I would rather live in La La Land and not put blinders on and still be the conduit to positive change and help others, than to live in a world where I see negative and I believe that other people are bad, and that there is hate, or that I should punish others. That is not how higher frequencies function. So there is a way to be in reality. We're all in the reality. I just see the opportunities to be positive change. And if you believe that being in reality means that you have to see how rotten people are, then that will be exactly your world. And you can stay there until you start to see the beauty in others. And when you see value in others, perhaps they will not resort to some of the things that they're doing. And yes, we have to remove people from those situations, remove animals from those situations. And so there are a lot of organizations that do that. They create education and training and other platforms that show those people that do harm that there's another way. Rehabilitation doesn't work for everybody. It's still a choice. But everybody's equally powerful, even those people. Do you understand that everything that you think is creating at every moment? This is science, and you've been told over and over again, you're all God's. These things you shall do and more. It's just as easy to create a castle as a button. From the Bible, not from me. Why is it in there? Why are those statements in there? These are teachings, and yet we still ignore them even today. Are you going to start to claim it? Because when you claim that power, you glorify the beauty of the One. Ah, you took my gift and you listened to the words that have been sent down. Finally, you are recognizing that you are part of the One. You are a God, not the God. It's not blasphemous. That is straight from the words of Christ. How many times do we have to hear it before we believe that we're amazing, powerful beings? You can manifest anything. We're going to talk more and more about how you change the thinking. I'm going to have a lot more videos on that because I think we've talked quite a bit about the Great Awakening and how we need to treat each other in the best possible, amazing way if we want to shift this planet into a higher frequency. It's time for us to start to go in here and learn how to switch and undo the conditioning, the programming. So, you have to believe first. As I say, number one of my 3-step process, tap into your power. Then you break through those fears, those conditioned negative thinking, and then you activate your magic. Then you start to use it without the barriers, knowing what you are, and you place orders, and they just come right into manifestation in a beautiful world that we live in right now. It can be that way for you. It can be that way for absolutely every single person. And there's nothing you've gone through that was in vain. In other words, it's all an amazing, purposeful experience. The question is, what are you going to do with it? You could be an inspiration to other people, or you could be angry and complain, point fingers, and criticize others. If that's the space you want to live in, it will be yours. And I would love if you chose to come up in the penthouse and have champagne and not stay in that dark basement where everybody's just unhappy. This is part of our journey here. So, law of attraction is simply shifting your mind into something positive, knowing, questioning nothing, and that's called faith, my friend. And then things will start to appear for you right away. You want to give it a test? Try it today. And I will start posting more and more videos giving you the training. Now you can go into Manifest Anything. It's a free video series. Every 3 days you'll get a video from me that inspires you to help you switch this thinking out. All right? Empowering yourself. How do I get out of it? But you have to do the work. Don't you unsubscribe. You have to stay at it. Unless you've got all the answers to the universe, and I sure don't. But let's start now with one another, knowing that we're all amazing. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you share this with one person, you will help me share a positive message to the planet, and that's a positive thing. Let's pay it forward. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Go get your free videos, Manifest Anything. Come on over and join the Miracle Circle monthly teachings. You get monthly teachings. In other words, you can go in there every single day if you want, whenever you want. And once a month, I spend time with you, and we create a circle of light where we see the planet in its most beautiful form. We send our light and love to the planet, to one another. We create a powerful circle of light where we place our own requests, no matter what that is. Every ask is given. So make sure what you're asking is truly what you want. That means you have to be in positive thought mode. All right, if you saw my video on asking it is given, you can learn very quickly how to do that. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.